We begin our tour around Mars with a place called Cydonia. That's where you can see the face of a humanoid right in the sands of the red planet. This photo was taken in 1976 by one of the space probes named Viking 1. You can distinguish the eyes, nose, and mouth of this creature. The image has given rise to much speculation about the origins of this object. Some people asked, could it be the remains of an ancient civilization on Mars? The inhabitants of this planet probably were much larger and taller than humans because the gravitational force on the red planet is 2.5 times weaker than on Earth. Gravity did nothing to stop these guys from growing, so their heads could have been as giant as the one you see in this picture. Others speculated that if we excavated there, we could find the rest of the remains of the ancient inhabitants of Mars. These would be giant bones, each the size of a subway car. But all the ideas and theories stopped when NASA published new photos of this very spot. This one was taken in 2001, and now we can say for sure that this is not a face, but just a hill, and the eyes and mouth are just shadows. Another mysterious silhouette is at the south pole of Mars. This photo, taken in 2020, shows a figure of an angel on the left and a heart-shaped silhouette on the right. But the head of the angel is actually a crater. A giant rock from outer space fell there. The explosion from the impact melted the ice and formed a deep basin, and the gentle slope of this crater forms the halo around the angel's head. The left arm formed because of the sublimation process. This is when the ice at the South Pole turns into a gas and evaporates, revealing the red soil of the planet. This process occurs when the seasons change. Then it gets much warmer there. The average temperature on Mars is about -81 degrees Fahrenheit, but on a hot summer day, it might be about 68 degrees Fahrenheit there. That's warm enough to wear shorts when you go outside. And now, the heart. Scientists believe it formed as a result of erosion. That's when the winds blow away the top layers of soil, revealing the dark material underneath. But scientists still don't know the origin of this dark material. One of the Martian rovers, Spirit, delivered an image with something that looked like a statue in it. Some scientists have speculated that this statue was made by a civilization that was observing life on Earth. But in reality, it's just a great example of pareidolia. It's our brain's tendency to associate random shapes and objects with something familiar. For example, a human silhouette. Another statue, this time of a woman, was found in 2015 among the Martian rocks. But again, it was just a play of shadow and light. And this 2019 photo hints that someone on Mars might now be walking in just one shoe, because the other one is lying right there. But it's just a little rock that looks like a robot foot or a spacesuit boot. And this could be part of the foot that used to wear this shoe. This stone looks like a human thigh bone. Scientists say it got this shape as a result of erosion. Air or water had been sharpening this piece of rock for millions of years until people found it and started creating their theories. But it could have been not just humanoids that inhabited Mars. There might have been fish too. Here's something that looks like their remains. Unfortunately, scientists say that Mars has never had enough oxygen in its atmosphere to support complex life forms, so there couldn't have been humanoids or fish there. And this rock has led some people to think that dinosaurs existed on Mars. It's the Brachiosaurus rock. It does resemble a famous dinosaur that lived on Earth about 150 million years ago. It was longer than a school bus and weighed as much as a Boeing 737. But what we found on Mars is just a small pebble of a similar shape. This photo was taken by the Curiosity rover in 2020. It looks as if someone left a Phillips head drill bit right there on the surface of Mars. Could it be the same Titans whose face we saw before? No. It's just a shiny rock that reflects the sun's rays at such an angle that it looks like a metal drill bit. And this thing looks like a yo-yo, but it's just another impact crater. And the tail of this yo-yo is a former stream of water. The crater is on a small elevation. When there was water on Mars, it flowed from the hill, forming this tail. Another strange thing on Mars is this spoon. It's right in the center of this picture. There is the long handle and the spoon itself. Again, erosion is to blame. Wind or water have been polishing this stone for a long time to make it look like a spoon. and because of the weak gravity on the red planet, it remains suspended in the air and doesn't fall under its own weight. One of the most interesting finds is this meteorite, or rather, its piece. It's a metal pebble that could fit in the palm of your hand. Researchers named it Egg Rock. The Opportunity rover also found something that later became one of the exhibits in the British Museum. You can see the head of the statue in this photo. It seems to have eyes, a nose, and a long beard. But if you started turning the thing around, you'd see that it's just an ordinary boulder. Another weird impact crater looks like a retro video game character. It's all about the croissant-shaped dune in the center of the crater. It casts a shadow in such a way that we might think the crater is about to start moving. And this photo shows traces of modern time people on Mars, but this time they're real. In 2012, the Curiosity rover spotted a strange object on the surface of the red planet. Then it took a close-up of the object. It turned out to be a piece of plastic from the rover itself. We've already left many human-made objects on Mars. There's a whole fleet of rovers there. For example, Mars 2. It crashed on the surface of Mars in November 1971. 5 days later, the Mars 3 rover made a soft landing, but then it lost communication with Earth. It should still be standing somewhere out there. 25 years later, people sent Sojourner there. It looked like a solar panel on wheels. Then came Spirit and Opportunity. These are the rovers that have been exploring the surface of Mars since 2004. After that was Curiosity, which is still functional. It constantly supplies us with pictures of the red planet. The Perseverance and Zhurong rovers were sent to Mars in 2021. They continue to explore the planet. All of these rovers landed in the same way. A launch vehicle would drop a landing module from its orbit around Mars. The landing module is a capsule that's supposed to protect the rover from friction against Martian air. As it descends, the landing capsule launches a parachute that slows down the descent until the rover touches the surface. The landing capsules have heat shields that detach during the descent. That's what they look like. As they fall to the ground, they create small, mole-like spots. The newest rovers land with the help of a sky crane. It's a kind of additional landing module. At an altitude of around 5,900 feet, the landing module would undock the parachute and fire 8 small jet engines. When it reaches 65 feet above the surface, it hovers in the air and lowers the rover in slings to the ground. When this is done, the sky crane would gain altitude again and fly away from the rover as far as possible. Then it crashes on the surface of Mars, which means that people have already left a lot of trash on the red planet. But we've left even more garbage on the moon. We've sent 6 missions there, a bunch of unmanned space probes, and several rovers. We've also left a few flags, broadcast cameras, and many other things on the surface of Earth's satellite. The combined weight of all the trash on the moon is over 400,000 pounds. That's like 30 elephants or 18 school buses. But we'll send even more stuff to Mars because we plan to turn it into our new home. First, we'll need to deliver a lot of food, water, scientific equipment, and hundreds of thousands of solar panels to the red planet. At first, Mars will be populated exclusively by robots. They'll use these panels to produce electricity on Mars. Then, they'll have to build living modules and a waste management system. And only 2 years later, we'll send the first humans there, and even more payloads. It'll be factories for fuel and oxygen extraction and scientific exploration of Mars. In some time, there will be enough modules to support life in a human colony. There will be a Martian hospital. There will be greenhouses where we grow food. There will even be hotels and restaurants to make people feel comfortable.